Hello and welcome back to the final episode of the season in my career mode, my team series. We are at Abu Dhabi, of course, the final race, and today we are hoping to outscore the AlphaTauri team and get 7th in the constructors, I believe. Just as normal, I'm going to get the practice modes out of the way, and then we're going to head into qualifying in the race. In previous years, Abu Dhabi's not been the greatest track for me. It's fun to race around because, well, there's a lot of straights, and obviously it's the last race of the season, so you got to have fun around it. Like I say, I'm just changing the engine components. We've managed to get 8 engine components this season. That's just put through poor qualifying, but let's head into qualifying and see where we can finish. Okay, as we come around the final bend, as I normally show you my best ever lap, there is a yellow flag. I'm not sure quite why there's a yellow flag. There's no one on the track. Let's have a little replay. As you can see, one of the Aston Martin drivers is in a wall in the pit lane. I think it's Lance Stroll. He's in a wall in the pit lane. I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but yeah, it was a bit of a weird thing for it to happen. I was looking for the yellow flag. It was Lance Stroll. He ended up getting disqualified from the session because he couldn't find the racetrack. Right, we're going around the final few bends now on our fastest lap. Not sure who's behind me, but they're obviously a little bit quicker than what I am because they're right up my rear. This is our third lap in qualifying. We're currently sat P19. It's Latifi who we're actually racing against for position. We're 5/10 up on our time. Where does that put us in qualifying? Are we going to make it to Q2? We're not in the top 14. Mick Schumacher with a great qualifying session with the Haas. 16th, unfortunately. No, 17th. Giovinazzi got 16th, so we don't get into Q2. And we are out of qualifying at the first hurdle. Unfortunately, that does mean we'll be starting 17th, but with grid penalties and, well, hopefully any time penalties at all, we'll be starting a little bit up the order, and we'll manage to get off on the right foot and get a good start to the race, on the Sunday, of course. So we'll jump to the race and we'll see where us and Giovinazzi actually do start after grid penalties, and we'll see what we can do during the race.
Welcome to the Yas Marina circuit for the finale of another thrilling Formula One season. It's been a breathtaking year, and we end it at a track that's been the scene of many glories and heartbreaks over its history. It's time to end the season in style. It's time for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The drivers will be racing here at the Yas Marina circuit through 21 corners and a lap distance of just over 3.4 miles. There are a few opportunities to pass, with long straights and DRS zones in 2 places, turns 8 and turn 11. Plenty of close racing then, plenty of speed, and I hope plenty of drama to be found in the laps ahead. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1, so how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Verstappen, Norris, Sergio Perez and Leclerc, Gasly, Giovinazzi, Mick Schumacher and Fernando Alonso. They've taken a grid penalty. The owner driver, Ricciardo, Yuki Tsunoda, and Lundgaard. Ocon, Russell. Sebastian Vettel, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Carlos Sainz. Stroll, Raikkonen, they've taken a grid penalty. Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
It's been a long
Okay, so as
season,
you saw,
but let's
we've
try to
actually
end it
been
on a high
bumped up
note.
a hell of a way. And we are going to start the race a little bit further up than we expected. We're going to have a look at strategy and see if we can go soft, medium, soft, rather than just soft, medium, medium. Seems to be a little bit slower, but it's the sake of the smallest margin. I think we're going to go for the 2-stop. We're going to take a little bit of fuel out of the car, and we are going to go soft, medium, soft. And as I said, we are starting P11. Giovinazzi's moved up to P8. And away we go. We've got Schumacher in P9, so he had a great qualifying session. We're going to try to go around the outside if we can. We lose to the position to Ricciardo and Lundgaard and Ocon. Unfortunately, we get a really bad start. We're going to try and defend now from Yuki Tsunoda. And as we send it up the inside of Esteban Ocon, oh, that's going to be a warning. We'll go up the inside of Schumacher as well. Ricciardo's up to P9. He's had the best start of his career. Obviously, we do need to note that Alonso and Raikkonen will be retiring after this race. So the man who's about to overtake me is the man that will be leaving the Alpine team this season. No rumours yet who's going to be taking his seat. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a rookie, but it also could be someone from a different team, which will make the teams move around a little bit. As we get the DRS on Alonso here on the first lap of DRS access, and we're going to try and fake to the inside of the Alpine driver, who we do manage to squeeze up the inside. And do we get DRS for the next straight? If we do have so, which we do, we'll be able to use it effectively and get back past the Alpine driver. Back up to P9. As you can see on the following lap, it's a Schumacher trying to get up the inside of both of us. Will he manage to make a move on either of us? I'm not quite sure. You can see us putting away from Alonso there, as I believe Giovinazzi's fighting Ricciardo. I was about to say Raikkonen then. What that fighting is doing is allowing us to get involved. P7 is up for grabs if we can get past Giovinazzi and then Ricciardo nice and quickly before our tyres wear off. As both of them pit. They pit on lap 7. That seems really early. I can't remember what my pit stop. My pit window is 9 to 12. So that does seem very early. Bottas is also in the pits. As we should see here what compound of tyre they're going to go on to. It is going to be mediums. And Ricciardo is held. He is held because of an Aston Martin driver. I'm not sure who that was. Probably Vettel, as Stroll was starting at the back of the pack today. We've now got Alonso attacking us on lap 8. We're in P3. We're fighting for a podium at the moment. Obviously we're a pit stop behind a lot of drivers. As we go around the outside, we're going to go for a switchback on Fernando. Can we put it off? We're going to get the DRS. Do manage to fake to the right hand side. He stays up there, Alonso. We have to give him a little bit of room, but we do manage to make the move stick.
Good
I wouldn't be surprised if Alonso goes in to pit on the next lap. Okay, we are into pit now, lap 9. We're going to obviously go on to the medium tyre. It seems like the longest wait ever to get down to our pit
Go.
box.
Exit now.
But we
We're
have
racing on the
pitted and we
exit.
are on the way again.
We'll
Ocon
be doing
has
one
pitted
more
behind
stop
us, so
today.
Alonso
One
has
stop
driven
left
off
in our strategy.
down the road, I'm assuming. I'm not 100% sure where Alonso's gone. He's 1.5 seconds ahead of us actually, so he must have pitted on lap 8 as I predicted. We've now caught back up to the Spaniard. We've also caught up to the Danish man of Lundgaard, our old teammate. We're going to try and make a move around the outside. We've got to give Lundgaard space, but we're also going to try and do a switchback in order to grab his DRS, which we managed to get. And we're underway. Round the outside of Lundgaard. We can make
Gap
this
to
move
car
stick
in front
and put him
is
between us and Alonso for a
3.4
few
seconds.
laps. That's exactly what we need. Up into the points as well with that overtake. P10. We now have Ocon chasing us. We've got up to P8. Obviously I'm assuming a few more cars are pitted. We're firing Esteban Ocon for position here. I'm not sure who's going to get the DRS. It looks like it's going to be Ocon. We're going to try and defend him, squeeze him to the right hand side. We're going to make a move up the inside and we don't. We go around the outside. He's going to get a bad run. We're going to try and do our best to get a good run through that section of corners. We've got Stroll, Ricciardo, and I'm not quite sure who that's behind. It looks like a Ferrari behind them. Quite a long train. Lap 19 and we're into the pits. Same lap as Ocon. We are obviously going on to the softer compound of tyre. I think Ocon's onto mediums. So he should have faster
Exit now.
tyres.
You'll be racing as you leave the pits. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Right, we've come out of the pits P17. So it doesn't look like we've managed to keep that great of pace to people that have obviously pitted around us. We've got Tsunoda and Alonso, who we have been fighting the whole race, so maybe there's people ahead of us that need to pit. I thought we was fighting for the points between Alonso and Tsunoda, so we'll see in a few laps time once everyone's pitted, but maybe people are going for a one stop and they're just going to be very slow towards the end of the race. You can see both Aston Martin drivers and a McLaren up the road. I think that might be Ricciardo, Stroll and Vettel, and they were obviously racing us for position, so they might be doing a one-stop strategy and we're doing the two-stop as alongside Tsunoda, Alonso and Ocon. Schumacher's dropped to P18 after starting P8, so it does look like strategy has been a very important thing here in this race. We're hopefully going to make a move here on Fernando Alonso with the DRS. We're going to go around the outside. Obviously we have got the softer compound of tyre. We're going to go for a switchback that we tried earlier on in the race. Can we get the acceleration out of that corner and the DRS? It looks like we're going to get the move done. We can go switch him to the left, fake him to the right hand side, and then we're going to turn in nicely and make the overtake. We have moved up to 13th with that overtake, so a few cars ahead must have pitted. I can see the points of Carlos Sainz up ahead. Your Sainz, Giovinazzi and Ocon, so we've got 6 laps to try and catch this gaggle of cars and make the overtake. As Giovinazzi does make contact with Ocon, we managed to avoid contact, but Ocon does hit into Giovinazzi. We're going to take a look at a replay here. Giovinazzi goes over the bump and hits into Ocon, sorry. So it's Giovinazzi's mistake. We're going to make a move on Ocon, and we do slightly touch the wall, but we didn't get any damage. We've now got 6 laps to try and chase Sainz for the last point. We're not going to catch up to Vettel, unfortunately. He's 30 seconds up. Oh no, Vettel must have picked. I'm confused. Vettel must be in P8. We'll find out at the end of the race, of course. So you've now got Alonso, me and Tsunoda fighting for P11. Sainz is sitting quite happily up the road in P10. But he's obviously 14 seconds up the road, so we're never going to catch him. Valtteri Bottas wins the race, I'm pretty sure Mercedes won the Constructors weeks ago. Lewis Hamilton will be the championship winner and has made history, winning 8 championships on the trot. Hopefully next season someone else might have something to say about that. Not necessarily saying me, because I don't know if my car will be competitive enough, but it'll be interesting to see if anyone else can challenge Lewis for that championship title. As we round the final few corners, and we do take a P11 at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and it finishes and ends our season.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
That's it then, they've taken the win here as we wrap up another fantastic Formula One season. Talk to me, Ant, what was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again. Wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I have to say Sebastian Vettel certainly caught my eye during today's race. Incredible driving.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the constructors'
Okay, so Bottas
title.
did win the
An
race.
incredible
Verstappen came
performance for the
second,
whole
Hamilton
team.
third.
Well,
But he
Ant,
did
an
get
end
the
to another
fastest lap.
fantastic
Norris
weekend of
fourth,
racing.
Gasly fifth.
Thanks to everyone who
Where did
joined us,
Giovinazzi
and we'll
finish in
see
the
you
end?
for the
He
next one.
finished 22nd. I'm guessing he pitted after that incident at the end. Hamilton is confirmed to be the championship winner. Charles Leclerc managing to get third in the championship. Any outrageous end finishes? We finished P9 in the championship. Gasly P10. Lance Stroll 11th, of course. Alonso 13th and Raikkonen 18th in their final ever career race. Mercedes win the Constructors. McLaren comes second. So it'll be interesting to see if the McLaren can charge a title fight next season. We come 7th, unfortunately 20 points behind the AlphaTauri in the end. But we tried our best. And unfortunately it wasn't to be. Right, now we've just got to wrap the season up. Renegotiate with teammate. We are going to keep Giovinazzi for the second season. I brought him in a little bit too early for Lundgaard in this season, so we're going to keep him for the second season, see where we can finish. Hopefully, with a little bit of training, we'll be able to grow him to a much better driver and fight for top 5 in the Constructors, hopefully next season. So yeah, we are going to renegotiate with him. We'll keep him on board and see what he can do next season. He's only 79 rated, so it'll be interesting to see how much we can grow him by for next season.
If you do,
we're going to offer
to negotiate anymore
4
with you in this
million
negotiation period.
That's euros. 4 million euros for Giovinazzi. Hopefully he'll accept, and he does accept. So we've got Giovinazzi for the next season. We will have to renegotiate with him around Belgium, but we'll keep him on board for the whole season. But that's it for season 1 of the My Team career mode. As you can see there, Alonso and Raikkonen have both retired. A little glimpse there. You can see Sainz is at the Alpine. Bottas is at the Ferrari. So there's a Mercedes seat up for grabs for season 2. Come back in season 2 to find out who takes that Mercedes seat. Hope you've enjoyed season 1, and I'll see you in the next one.
Our new part.